Welcome back, Pod with M family, to episode 3 of season 1. Our guest today is Jodè Mouton, sharing a bit about her journey in life. Welcome, Jodè.
Hi Marie, thank you for having me. My name is Jodè. I was born and raised in Rehoboth. I'm 19 years of age. I'm currently studying and staying in Bangkok, Thailand. I'm studying finance and banking.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, how's a Rehoboth pastor going all the way to Thailand? How is that going?
At first, it was really difficult. Change is always difficult, but it was really needed. I don't regret moving to Thailand because it has taught me a lot of independence, resilience, and gratitude. So moving to Thailand was actually the best decision I ever had to make. Yes, it was a huge change going from being comfortable, having my parents around, family, etc. But it was needed.
So, would you recommend our Rehoboth pastors to also take that courage and move?
Yes, I would. I would recommend them to spread their wings, and change is always scary, but change is also needed, and it helps you grow and heal, and it teaches you a lot of things, and it helps you grow in so many ways as a person.
So, how did you come about the opportunity? Like, how can we see into it, like the networks?
I've always wanted to study abroad, like from my high school years, but 2 years ago I was faced with a brain tumor, and that turned my life around. Like, it had a huge impact on my life, so that shifted a bit of my focus on studying abroad. But after what happened with me, I decided, no, I still want to go. I started exploring different options, different agencies, and then I decided on Thailand because Thailand was the cheapest option, and I've always wanted to go to Thailand, and yeah.
So the network you used, like, did you apply on your own, any agencies, or of any agencies that we can look at?
No, I applied with Nairo. They helped me with my application, with my visa, all of that.
Nice. So any disadvantages of being so far, missing out on achievements here at home or family gatherings?
Yeah, there's a lot of disadvantages. Like, I recently lost my grandpa, and that was really a hard loss for me because my grandfather meant everything to me. So hearing that he's no longer with us was really difficult for me because all I could think about was, I'm sitting in Thailand, I'm 10,000 kilometers away from home. And the fact that I couldn't be with him during his last moments was really difficult for me because I couldn't even say goodbye to him. But such things happen. Whether I'm here or there, it is going to happen. And I miss out on a lot. Like, my brother is graduating soon, like he's going from primary school, high school, and I can't even attend that, birthdays and all of it. It's always difficult. But I always tell myself that one other time I would have had to gone, like, I would have had to go, like, it was always my dream. So disadvantages come with having to make your dreams a reality, but there's always a flight home, like I could come home to my grandfather's funeral, and yeah,
at least you could say goodbye.
Yeah.
So you said that you were diagnosed with a brain tumor, and then you still chose to pursue your dream, because that could have been a setback for most of us. Like, this is the end. This is okay.
Yeah.
I'm just accepting this, but you still pursued. Like, how was it? Was it a mindset shift, or how did that come about? Like, building that resilience or confidence to still pursue?
So like I said, I was diagnosed 2 years ago, and I remember the first thing I thought when I heard the news was, God, why me? Because the only thing I could think about was, I'm going to die. I only saw death because that was one of the possibilities. And I was so negative to a point where, like, my iron and sugar levels dropped, and I just was like, why me? Why is this happening? I couldn't see God's plan. I couldn't see the purpose behind it all. But I started reading my Bible and I read this specific verse, Romans 8, verse 31, which says, "If God is for us, well, what can be against us?" And I started praying nonstop. And so my faith started growing and my mind shifted from fear to faith. And that changed everything. That changed my whole perspective. And I started seeing where first saw like I'm going to die, I started seeing no, this is just the beginning of my story. God is still writing my powerful story. It's not the end of my story. I may seem like there's no hope, but like God is still busy. It's not the end of my story. He has a better plan and a better purpose for me. That's why I'm going through this.
That's a mindset shift that takes a lot of courage and a lot of resilience and prayer. But tell us a bit more about the journey of your cancer being diagnosed and all those things. How did from the first day on?
So it was nighttime. We were all asleep, and suddenly my mom just heard noise coming from my room, like someone was struggling to breathe. Immediately, she rushed and got up, and she went to pull the covers off me, and there was foam was coming out of my mouth, and I was shaking. All of that. They immediately rushed me to St. Mary's Hospital here in Rehoboth, and I took about an hour to regain consciousness, and then I got admitted here. Later that day, I had another attack, and then they decided to rush me to Roman Catholic in Windhoek. At Roman Catholic, they performed blood tests which showed an irregularity occurring in my blood, which concluded that I in fact did have a seizure. On the 6th of November, they sent me for a CT scan and an MRI, which concluded that I had a brain tumor. It was located at the back of my eyes, and it was the size of a tennis ball. So when the neurologist came to tell me this, like I said, I was in complete disbelief. My first question was, God, why me? Because in my mind, like, I'm 18 years old. Why am I facing this? What have I done so wrong to go through this? And like my tumor, like I said, was behind my eyes, so I could have just woken up one day blind, and I wouldn't have known why if they hadn't discovered it at that time. So I'm extremely lucky that they discovered it early on, because there was a girl who had the same tumor at the exact same place, all of that. She was operated a week before me, and she was already blind because they discovered hers later. So I just realized how lucky and fortunate I am that God revealed my tumor early on, so I didn't have to go through all of that. Because imagine seeing your whole life and just one day waking up being blind.
Jeez. And the journey of in the hospital now, how did that go? How was the mental shift? Was it like, this is my end, or what was the outcome that the doctor gave you?
At first, like when I got the news, I couldn't sleep that night. Like I was so afraid of death, I couldn't sleep. And that's when I started reading Bible verses, like I said, Romans 8 verse 31. I started praying and I told God, I can do nothing about the situation that I'm in. My doctors can't do anything. They're simply instruments that God is going to use. Only He can heal me. And I placed my tumor in His hands and I told Him, please take it away. I know He can. I know He can do the impossible, because God does the impossible. He makes the impossible possible. And I just basically, I left everything in His hands. I started praying. Yeah, there were days where I felt like, giving up. Because there was one day I had a major setback, I had a panic attack and a seizure at the same time. And then I was so negative, and I told everyone that came to visit me, like, you don't know how it feels, like, you're not the one going through it, so you can't come and tell me, no, it's gonna be okay, I'm the one who has to face this. And I was so negative, but then I just started praying again, because like I said, no one can do anything, I can't do anything, only God could heal me. And so my faith started growing, I told everyone, like, I am gonna make it through this. And for my parents, it was really hard because I had an older brother. He died when he was 2 years old because with his birth giving process, they hurt his brain. So for them, it felt like deja vu. And I remember the day before my operation, I held my mom's hand and I told her, you know what? God isn't going to let you go through all of that again. You're not going to lose me. He wouldn't have woken you up that night if he was planning to take me away as well. And I told her, you found me for a reason, because anything could have happened. I could have suffocated in my sleep. Like I said, I could have turned blind, but he didn't. So I promise you, I am going to make it out. And this is simply just a mountain that I still have to climb, but I will make it to the other side.
That's beautiful. And the journey just would you say it's like part with him is possible with a mindset? So would you like say that that mindset shift that you had, like you were so negative, but you had the power in you to shift that negativity into positivity, and that helped yourself.
Yeah.
Like it could have gone worse with a negative mindset, but that positive mindset actually helped you recover.
Yeah.
So that's cool. But the journey of being diagnosed with cancer and the recovery process. So later on, you recovered in the hospital. How was the losing your hair journey? Like I saw a photo.
It was really difficult, like when I first heard like all of your hair has to be shaved off, because they were scared that little hairs would go into my brain, so I had to cut all of it off. I was so sad because I knew people would look at me differently. In my mind, I was just like, what are people going to think about me? Because I'm just human, We are going to think about that. So it was really difficult for me, but I decided like, no, this is my story. Cut it all off, It's okay, hair will grow back and stuff like that. But the first day after I came back from the ICU, I went for a walk, and there were people standing outside of my room, and they looked at me like someone who was really sick, and I felt so bad, and it created such a deep insecurity, and then I started crying, and I went to God and I told him like, yeah, I understand this is part of the process, but it's really difficult, It's a huge change for me, because I couldn't even look at myself in the mirror and say like, yo Jodè. I was like, I don't recognize myself. Even like I didn't want to go to the doctor's appointments because people would stare at me funny. Every time I would go into a room or even a shop, they would look at me funny without even knowing my story. So like I said, it created a deep insecurity. I later didn't even want to leave the house, not even go to doctor's appointments. And I was so deep in the dumps. Like I was so insecure that about my hair being shaved off, because I just couldn't recognize myself, and people looking at me differently made it even worse, because you don't know what I went through, and you're looking at me as if I'm someone who's really sick, And most of the time, people don't realize like the insecurities they create in others. Like rather than look at me funny, be supportive, because you don't know what I had to go through to stand here today.
So how was the journey of your hair growing back?
It was nice. Like I really enjoyed my hair, going through the different phases. And now it's long. Again, and I enjoyed seeing how it was growing beautifully. And I feel like it resembles my strength, and it shows my healing, and it shows the fight I had to fight to get here. So it's not just hair growing back. I told myself like, hair is just hair. It's not the feathers that makes the bird. It's what inside. And when I started realizing that, it was just really beautiful. So now I see my hair grow not as only growth, but as a sign of my strength and a symbol of my healing, and also a resemblance of my faith, because my hair growing back isn't really growth. It's really showing how God can turn your situation around.
Yeah. Well, that's very powerful, and a good resemblance of your journey. And I believe you'll keep that with you for a long period of time. But now you look beautiful with your
Thank you.
with your hair and everything. I see that you talk a lot about the song, the story I'll tell, and I believe in what info you have given us, we can see what it means to you. But what does the song mean to you?
That song means everything to me. I remember the day I went into the theater before they put me to sleep. Yeah, they asked me what song they should play for me, and I told them the story I'll tell, because in that song there's a specific part that says, "My God did not fail," and I knew I was going to make it out, and I knew I was going to tell the story of how my God, in fact, did not fail me. So that's why that song means everything to me. And after my operation was 8 hours long, and after I woke up, um, I saw my surgeon crying, and I asked him, "Why is he crying?" And he told me, like, while they were operating on me, they could feel God's presence move in between them. So that's why that song means everything to me, because whenever I'm down, whenever I'm feeling like, why am I still going through this? You know, all the challenges I face in life, I only listen to that song because it reminds me that no matter what you go through in life, God will never fail you. It may seem that all hope is lost and that God is nowhere to be found, but He's right beside you, and he in fact is listening to you, and He will answer your prayers. It only takes time, like the one verse, Isaiah 60 verse 22 also said, like with the right timing, God will make it happen. So no matter the challenges I went through, God always came through, and that's why that song's so special to me, because it says like, my God did not fail, you know. Yeah.
That's beautiful. And since that day, like I saw your post on my story, and I start reflecting, like, if we're the same age, we're basically the same. And if I had to go through that, how would I react? Like I put myself in your shoes, and I was like, I don't think I could have faced it. And that song started meaning more to me because every time I listened to it, I would think of your process, you going through it, the diagnosis. And yeah, it's really beautiful. And you've been such an inspiration through sharing your journey with us on social media. And I want to give you ups for that because not everyone is willing to share it. And for any cancer patient out there that's going to watch this or maybe see it somewhere, what are you telling them?
I tell them you're not alone. You know, at first it feels like I said, God abandoned you. You're all alone. You're facing this challenge all on your own. But I promise you, you're not alone. You just have to stay rooted in faith and, you know, family and love and all that. I promise you, you are going to make it through this. It may look like there's no outcome, there's no tomorrow, there's no hope left, but I promise you, you are going to make it through this. Like if God could do it for me, He can also do it for you. So you just have to stay rooted in faith and put your trust into Him, because like I said, it's only Him who can heal you. Like the doctors are merely just instruments, and the medicine is just instruments that He's using to heal you. But at the end of the day, it's only God that can truly and fully heal you.
So how was the family support during that journey? How important would you say was having that support system for you?
It was really important. My family was the foundation of my healing process. Like they were there every day. The prayers, they cried with me, everything, all of that. Like they were really supportive. I could really feel their love and prayers and everything. That's why when I lost my grandpa, it was so hard for me because when I was in the hospital, he was always there, you know. Going from Rehoboth to Windhoek, like he was there every day, sitting, praying with me, and he always told me, like, no, you're going to be okay. I promise you. So my family really, they were there for me, and their support meant everything to me, because without their support, I wouldn't be sitting here today.
Beautiful. And I'm happy that you had that kind of support when going through
Thank
that
you.
process. In your friend group as well, I believe
Yeah.
they also supported you. So younger Jodè, before cancer journey, before Thailand, before anything that important that happened in your life, what are you telling her to prepare for all this?
I would tell younger Jodè that you are going to face challenges. You are going to go through tough times in life. You are going to experience heartache and all of that. But I would tell younger Jodè to always remain positive. Like things do get better. And I would tell younger Jodè to start having faith in God sooner, you know. Like it took a whole brain tumor and everything for me to really be rooted in Christ, you know. I would tell younger Jodè to have faith always, to always be positive, and to never care what people think, because I always tell myself people are going to say something, whether you're doing good or bad in life, they're always going to have something to say about your life. So I would tell her to not care, to just embrace the moment and to just live for herself and for God, and to always remain positive no matter what life throws at her.
I want to go back a bit. to the moment you had when you shaved off your hair
Yeah.
and you saw yourself in the mirror. And I feel like you said you couldn't recognize yourself. And I
Yeah.
feel like us as girls or even boys out there, we also stand in the mirror and maybe something terrible happened or we just not liking ourselves.
Yeah.
We also stand there and say that I don't recognize you. What would you say to yourself in that mirror once again, or say to someone else in the mirror?
I would tell them they're beautiful and unique just as they are. Like I said, it's not the feathers that makes the bird, it's what's inside. All these looks, the hair, the smile, nice clothes, all of that, it doesn't matter. It's what's inside, and like God always says, we're wonderfully and fearfully made. So as long as you look at yourself with that in mind, you'll see that you're beautiful and unique no matter what you're going through. Whether you're bald, whether you have long hair, whether you feel that something is wrong with you, you're unique and beautiful. So you should never tell yourself, like I told myself, I don't recognize you, because like I said, it's not the outside that matters, it's the inside that matters. And I would tell Jodè that's standing in that mirror right now, everything is going to be okay because you're still beautiful. You're still yourself. You couldn't see it at that moment, but now I see it. Like it didn't matter. Like my hair being shaved off was simply, just like I said, a resemblance of my strength and my faith and what I had to go through. So I was more beautiful then because it showed how I had to fight and go through all of that. I didn't see it at that moment, but now I can see it and I can tell her, wow, she's really beautiful and she stands out because she looks like a warrior. And that's how I feel that everyone should look at themselves when they feel insecure. You're a warrior because no one knows the daily battles you have to fight, like all the insecurities. So you should look at yourself and say, no, I'm a warrior because I'm strong. Look at all that I have gone through and I'm still alive. I'm still pushing and all that. So never look at yourself and say, no, I don't recognize me. Rather say, I see a warrior, I see a strong person, a person with courage and a beautiful person.
That's cute. Definitely something to tell yourself in the mirror. Thank you, Jodè Key. So Jodè, going back or coming back to Thailand, like what are your checkups saying of your brain tumor and your future in Thailand? Tell us a bit more.
So I came back in February this year and I went to my doctor for my regular checkup, and my brain tumor left a huge hole, and that hole was only supposed to be like completely closed up in 10 years, or that's what they told me. But you know, God performed another miracle, and I went for another CT scan, and that showed that the hole was completely closed up. There's almost no sign of a surgery or brain tumor or anything. So within 2 years, or not even 2 years, like a year and a few months, that hole closed up, and it's all through God, because imagine it could have taken 10 years and it closed up within 1 year and a few months. So that really just comes back to having faith. And so because that hole could have still caused me to have seizures and stuff like that. And like I said, I had my seizure in my sleep. So imagine being so far away from home, all alone, and I had a seizure. I could have suffocated in my sleep, but God closed that hole and I'm completely healed.
You really took care of it, like the impossible you made possible, and that's beautiful. So Jodè, leave something for our youth watching this today, and to end off the video, leave something for them.
Like I said, I shifted my mindset from fear to faith. I would encourage the youth to also start shifting their mindset from fear to faith. Whether they are facing cancer, whether they are facing any challenge in life, I would highly recommend running back to God, because you can't overcome any challenge in life without having faith or without God in your life. I promise you, it's going to be so difficult and you won't be able to overcome it, and you'll always wonder, why is this so difficult to get past, or why is this happening to me, or why. But once you start shifting your mindset from fear to faith, you'll see that no, this is happening because God still has a plan for me. I still have a purpose. I would encourage them that turn your pain into purpose and your setbacks into comeback. Because I promise you, there's always a way out with God. Like His light is always going to shine on you, and miracles are always going to happen in life. And I want to tell them that it may look as if your prayers aren't being heard and they aren't being answered, and all odds are just against you, but with God's timing, it will happen. He is hearing your prayers and He will answer them. You just need to keep on remaining faithful and stay rooted in Christ, because that's all how you are going to make it in life.
Thank you again, Jodè,
Thank you, Marie.
for joining pod with him. And I feel like if I read something that resembles Jodè for me, and it was like, it's a story where we always want an answer from God going through a challenge. We always, why God? Why me? Why now? And sometimes it's not an answer that we will get from God, but rather an answer that we will grow through.
Yeah.
And I can see that through your journey. Like, you were also questioning God at the beginning, but God started answering you through the journey. And that's so beautiful to see. And again, thank you for watching. Thank you, Jodè, for joining pod with
Thank you,
MM.
Marie.
May you only go from high heights to high heights and enjoy your journey in Thailand. Thank you.
Thank you.